I believe that everything happens for a reason. People change so that you can
Today,
learn to let go.
I am
Things go
bringing
wrong so
you a
that you can
story
learn to appreciate
that's
them when they're
not
right.
just
Sometimes
powerful,
good things fall apart,
it's
so better days never
sacred.
fall together.
It's about a boy who grew up fighting for every breath, dodging bullets on the way to school, sleeping on floors, and running towards a dream bigger than the world around him. This isn't a fairy tale. There are no magic wands, just greed, love, heartbreak, and redemption. Stick with me, don't skip a second, because at the very end, I will tell you who that person is. And when I do, you will feel it in your chest. Hey fam, welcome to Freedom with Drishti, the home for warriors of the spirit, hustlers of hope, and dreamers who won't stay down. I am Drishti, and this channel is where pain turns into purpose, and stories don't just touch you, they transform you.
My mother got pregnant with me at 15 years old. I grew up on the east side of Atlanta, about 5 minutes away from where the Atlanta Braves play, in a neighborhood by the name of Kirkwood. Drugs, gangs, violence, you name it. And I came up in a 2-bedroom home, 14 people. And I used to sleep on the floor. My grandmother, Miss Daisy Johnson, she used to come to us and she would say, one night out of the week, you all get the opportunity to sleep in the bed. And so when I got to sleep in the bed, it wasn't like I got the bed to myself and I was like, man, I got the bed to myself. It was 5 more of my cousins in the bed. And so we slept 3 to the foot and 3 at the head. And so as a kid, pretty quick, I had to make a decision of what I wanted to do with my life, because in that same house, I had 8 uncles, all 8 of which are still going in and out of prison till this day because they sold drugs and they were in gangs. And so I looked at it, and it's kind of like that quote that says, learn from the mistakes of other people because you can't make them all yourself. And so I saw them selling drugs, but I also saw the outcome. And so I said, I'm not selling drugs. I'm not joining a gang because I see where that road leads to. Either I'm going to end up dead or in prison. I said, so my best bet may be to go to the NFL. And so I went to my cousin by the name of Tamon. I said, listen, man, I want to go to the NFL. I feel our family deserves a better way of life. Let's work for it. I said, we're going to be patient. We're going to engage in consistent action every night. And so every night we would go out and we would race light pole to light pole in Kirkwood.
He was born on February 12, 1986, in one of the toughest neighborhoods called Kirkwood in Atlanta, Georgia. Kirkwood wasn't just poor, it was dangerous. Crime, violence, addiction, it was in the air, the water, the walls. In his house, 13 people, 1 bathroom, 2 bedrooms, chaos was normal. He didn't have a bed until high school. For years, he slept on a floor, wrapped in a blanket, hoping not to get trampled during the night. As a kid, he would wake up to cockroaches crawling on his arm like it was a Tuesday. He watched friends get shot. He heard sirens more than words. And yet, even in that chaos, there was love. His mother was a rock. She raised him with discipline, fire, and faith. No excuses, no shortcuts, just pure survival. And at 9 years old, he made a decision. He was watching a football game on a tiny box TV, and something clicked. He turned to his cousin and said, I'm going to the NFL. And the cousin laughed, not out of hate, but because dreams like that didn't come true for people like him. But this kid, he was different. He started training in his backyard. No gym, no coach, just bricks for weights, trees as cones, and relentless hustle. He would run full sprints until his lungs burned out and his legs trembled. Then he would run some more because he wasn't just trying to escape poverty. He was trying to become someone his family could lean on.
The Crim High School, one of the lowest performing public schools in the whole state of Georgia, dropout rate higher than the graduation rate. People didn't go to college. I went to Crim my first day. I walked through the doors. A metal detector cop said, "What's your plan, little man?" I said, "My plan is to go D1. He said, "Nah, you'll probably end up in cell block D1. I said, "Nah, you got the wrong guy." He said, "Nah, you'll probably end up in cell block D1. I said, "Nah, you got the wrong guy." After my freshman year, my mother and father both came to me and they said, "Inky, we're transferring you from this place. You got a scholarship at Tucker High School." They said, "All you have to do is come and play your next 3 years. They guarantee you a scholarship to Georgia." I said, "Please, leave me at one of the lowest performing public schools in the whole state of Georgia. I can get a scholarship from this place. Son, nobody goes to college from there. Please, let me stay here. I can make it from this place." They transferred me anyway. First football game, tore the ligaments in my ankle, out for the season, ended up in a wheelchair. Went back to my parents, "Will you please transfer me back to one of the lowest performing public schools in the whole state of Georgia?" My pastor said, "Inky, you really want to go there?" I said, "Please transfer me back there. I need to go back there." And so the summer going into my senior year, we got blessed with a new coach. He came to me. I was done with football. He said, "Man, please come and work out for me. Just do one workout for me." I said, "Okay, coach, I'll come out, I'll work out." I ran a 40-yard dash. I did some cone drills. He came up to me after the workout. He said, "Son, what college do you want to go to?" I said, "Man, I just want to go D1. He said, "No, you're not hearing me, son. What college do you want to go to?" I said, "Man, I just want to go D1. He said, "After the first couple of games, we'll put together a tape and we'll see what happens." After the first 2 games, I had 9 touchdowns. It was all she wrote from there. And I'll never forget the day the University of Tennessee came in and a coach took a chance on me. He sat down with me and he said, "Son, I want to offer you a full scholarship to the University of Tennessee." It was so crazy. I responded and I told him, "I'm coming." And he laughed.
In high school, the dream got legs. Literally. At Cream High School, he became a 2-sport athlete, football and track. Lightning fast, fearless, a natural born leader. Coaches started noticing him, not because he was the biggest guy, but because he outworked everyone. He wasn't just training for Friday night games. He was training for freedom. But still, most colleges looked the other way. Too small, too risky, too inner city. Until the University of Tennessee gave him a shot. Tennessee offered him a scholarship, and that offer changed his life. When he signed the letter of intent, his mother broke down in tears. This was it. The door had finally opened. In college, he shined, a defensive back with instinct like a hawk. He could read plays like a chess grandmaster. Coaches praised his intensity. Teammates respected his drive. By his junior year, he was a star. He started all 13 games, made critical interceptions, ESPN clips, interviews, NFL scouts took notice. He was projected as first-round pick in the 2007 NFL draft. Let that sink in. A kid from the floor, from roaches and ration meals, on the verge of becoming a millionaire. That kind of climb, it's Mount Everest with no boots, and he was so close to the summit.
Back, he threw the ball to a receiver coming out my sideline. Me and the guy, we went head on. As soon as I hit the guy, I felt as if every breath of my body left. Body went completely limp, fell to the ground, I blacked out. Never happened to me. When my eyes opened, I'll never forget, my teammates ran over. They said, Ink, get up, let's go. I said, I can't. I said, I can't move. He said, what do you mean you can't move? You're our lockdown corner, man. We need you. Let's go. I said, I know, man, but this time I can't move. I flipped my head up to the sky and said, God, I said, surely nothing is happening in this moment that can alter my life. They got me over to the hospital. They took me back. They ran CAT scans. They brought me back into my room. And all in a 15-second time frame, the doctor came running in from the opposite side. He said, hey, get in here. We got to rush this guy back to emergency surgery. He's about to die. I said, what? He said, son, you have busted up subclavian artery in your chest. You're bleeding internally. We have to rush you back, take the main vein out of your left leg, plug it into your chest in order to save your life. When I opened my eyes from recovery, the same doctor was over me. He said, son, had some good news and some bad news for you. I said, you got some bad news for me? I had to tell him I was about to die. I'm still alive. How bad can it get? I'm still here.
September 9, 2006, Neyland Stadium, Tennessee versus Air Force. A packed house of 100,000 screaming fans. Second quarter. The quarterback throws a short route. He reads it instantly. He sprints forward, collides with the receiver. Solid hit. Then silence. He doesn't get up. Tries to move his right arm. Nothing. Tries again. Still nothing. Trainers rush in. The stadium quiets. He's carried off the field. Fans applaud. But inside, his world is unraveling. That night, doctors tell him, you suffered a brachial plexus injury. Your right arm is paralyzed. You will never play football again. Just like that, it was gone. The millions, the NFL dream, the escape, all gone in one hit. He cried, not because he was weak, but because he had given everything. The workouts, the pain, the sacrifice, the belief, gone. But you know what didn't live? His purpose. And that was about to become bigger than football. Rehab was brutal. He had to learn how to live without full use of his right arm. But instead of retreating into bitterness, he made a vow. If I can't play the game, I will inspire the players. And that's exactly what he did. He started small, speaking at schools, churches, juvenile centers, sharing his story, his pain, his lessons. And something incredible happened. People actually listened because he wasn't preaching from a mountaintop. He was speaking from the wounds, from truth. Soon he was invited to speak to NFL teams, Fortune 500 companies, universities, and conferences. His words hit different. They weren't cliches. They were earned truths. He said, character is not something you inherit. It's something you build when life punches you in the face. He became a husband, a father, a mentor, and a motivational force. Some of his accolades and highlights. He is one of the most in-demand motivational speakers in the US. He is featured by ESPN, Fox Sports, and Sports Illustrated. He is the author of the book Inky, an amazing story of faith and perseverance. He interviews on major platforms, including The School of Greatness by Lewis Howes and Eric Thomas's programs. Every one of those accolades, that's not just success, that's resurrection. He didn't become what he wanted, he became what he was meant to be. You have probably heard his voice in a locker room, in a YouTube short, in a moment when you needed a reason to keep going. But now you know the story. The boy who slept on the floor, who rose through grit, who lost it all in one hit, and then became something greater than his dream. His name is Inky Johnson, and his life a living reminder that you don't need a platform to have a purpose. You don't need a title to lead. You don't need to win to be legendary.
It's all in your mind. Whatever you hold in your mind will tend to occur in your life. If you continue to believe as you have always believed, you will continue to act as you have always acted. You will continue to get what you have always gotten. If you want different results in your life or your work, all you have to do is change your mind.
So let me ask you, what are you doing with your pain? Are you hiding it? Or are you letting it build you? Because in every setback there is seed, and in every fall there is fuel. If Inky's story lit a fire in you, don't let it burn out. Like this video, share it with someone in the storm. Drop a comment below telling me your turning point and hit that subscribe button. Because here at Freedom with Drishti, we don't just share stories, we spark transformation.